Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. I wanted to do this show today, a special show to honor some of the best female artists on vinyl, in my opinion. I picked my top three at the moment. It changes from time to time. There's definitely a lot of honorable mentions, and just kind of all around wanted to celebrate International Women's Day, which is today. So to all the women out there, you guys are awesome. And, I'm maybe one of the few men, maybe there's a lot of us out there that will readily admit to being inspired and relying on your skills. And most of all, who you are as individual people, not as women or men or anything in between, but truly, truly who you are. And what's really impressive to me as I think back about my own life is that I have come from a family of strong women, and some of which are not around anymore, some of which are. First and foremost, my beautiful wife, Mrs. Record-ology, who is so talented in so many ways and has done so many wonderful things. I mean, professional opera singer, professional vocal coach, actor, and everything in between. Director, award-winning on so many levels, and to me personally, a major inspiration. And the strength, the wind beneath my wings. I love her very, very much. And my mother as well. I was a very ill child, and I just let you say that I had a lot of people, and still do, that really care for me and love me very, very much. And I'm very thankful for that. Some grandmothers, the best grandmothers on both sides of the family that you could ever imagine. But what I wanted to talk about today as we celebrate International Women's Day is three of my favorite female artists on vinyl. And the first is Doris Day. And Doris Day's music, to me, is very upbeat. It's very polished. It is very high quality music. What do I mean by that? I feel that in this day and age, a lot of music that is deemed as pop music or acceptable music or, whatever, just music of this current era has such little talent behind it compared to what used to be. And the people that were famous deserve to be famous. I would say more so than a lot of the people that are famous today. Perhaps that's a controversial statement. It's not meant to be, but Doris Day is an example of a consummate professional and a wonderful personality, both on film and on record. And go ahead and listen to a little bit here. It's interesting. Her story, she has like this girl next door, very wholesome Americana image. But if you watch interviews with her, you'll find out that she was actually not as squeaky clean as her image was created. And, it's an image. It's a professional image like anybody else. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So a very, very unique individual. I had the pleasure of communicating with her in the 90s. If you're vaguely aware of Doris Day but haven't really taken the time to listen, I would encourage you to do so. Her voice rings like a bell. Incredibly clear. Incredibly clear.
I stepped to my door like a good girl should.
And the music is fun. It's upbeat. There's a lot of sort of introspective music as well. And the orchestrations, the music behind the voice is amazing. Just phenomenal stuff. There's a little sample right there. So definitely check out Doris Day. She's great. And there's a lot of records out there. I've got like 3, maybe 4 Doris Day records, all of which I happen to find at the thrift store, actually. So that's cool. The next female artist I want to talk about, no surprise, guys. You knew this was coming, Patsy Cline. By the way, whoever gave me this record, thank you so very much. It's my new Patsy Cline record. Again, an artist that for me, and this is a DMM pressing as well. So direct metal mastered recording, European import. Her story is amazing. I was very vaguely familiar with her. I basically knew that, it had something to do with country western music, and that she apparently had died at an early age. That's pretty much all. Isn't that sad that that's all I knew? If you read the story of her passion about, making it in Nashville, her family spent they were so dirt poor, they spent the first night sleeping in the city park because they couldn't afford a hotel. And just really worked her way up and went through a lot of different career iterations as well. One thing I like about her is, when she was a teenager growing up, her family realized, her real name was Virginia, I believe. Her family realized early on that she had a very mature voice for her age. And her voice, as an adult as well, was very full, very rich, very mature. People said that when you hear Patsy Cline sing, you're hearing it come from her soul directly to yours. That the technology melted away. I think that's still true to this day. Now, if you don't particularly like country music, still give it a listen, because she did cross over into pop quite a bit. And the recordings that exist of her are phenomenal. They are very, very good quality recordings, as this record can attest to. Check out how many songs are on this thing. There are 11 songs on each side of this record. It is a long record. And she was a pistol, from what I've learned. And again, I've really only learned about her in the last few weeks as I've been studying up. But she was a pistol. She was a very strong character, a very strong-willed individual, as was Doris Day, which she didn't give off that. Doris Day didn't give off that, aura, perhaps, but she really, really was a pistol. All right, the next person I want to point out, the last of the three on vinyl, is Kay Starr. This may be one that you're not as familiar with. These are, again, thrift store records. Kay Starr came onto the scene earlier than the previous two, I believe. She recorded for Glenn Miller in 1939 as a temporary vocalist at age 16. And from there, she kind of went on, similar to Patsy Cline, but more jazz-centric, I would say. A very unique voice, which you'll hear in a minute here, and never made it in the movies, never really cared to, was just focused on singing. And she started off by singing to chickens in a Texas farm that her family lived in or ran, and eventually grew from there. She became very popular in the 50s. That was sort of her main era. So I'm going to play some of her 50s music. Again, gorgeous arrangements and an unmistakable voice. She made it until 2016, I believe, living until her mid-90s, I believe. She finally passed away from Alzheimer's. Look how there's only like 6 songs modulated onto this record compared to all the others on the other. Dang it, I did it again. I always go too far on this record and we're running out of time, so I have to wait for it to complete its cycle. So yeah, Kay Starr, again, that's a stage name. Her last name was Starks. Catherine Starks was her real name. And people were mispronouncing and misunderstanding her last name. So her and her mom came up with the idea of Starr, S-T-A-R-R. I think she was married like 6 times. You never really hear about that aspect of it. Her professional life and her personal life were very, very separate. Just a very unique sound. She's known as a belter because she belted out her music. It was a very loud singer. The arrangements are really gorgeous, really lush, full, big band orchestrations. So there you go. My little humble video celebrating International Women's Day. to all of the women in my life, thank you so much, especially my beautiful wife, for everything. She is the secret behind Record-ology, why it exists, and why we've achieved the level of success that we have. So I want you each to reflect on an inspiring woman in your life. Let me know down in the comments below who that would be. All right, guys, that's going to do it for now. Happy record hunting. We will see you tomorrow.